2026 is already here, and there's one thing high performers consistently do at the start of every year. They set goals, but not just any goals. Today I'll show you the most effective way, backed by science, to set goals and actually achieve them in 2026. It's called the SAT system. Set, action, track. Most people only do the first part. They set a goal. They write it in their notes app. They feel motivated for a day. Then life happens. And by November or December, the regret kicks in. The SAT system exists to stop that cycle. If you miss even one of these, the whole system breaks. So let's break each part down. 1. Set the goal the right way. Most goals fail at this step, not because people aim too low, but because they aim too vague. Get in shape, be more productive, make more money. These aren't goals. They're wishes. A real goal has friction built into it. It forces clarity. Instead of work out more, you set train 3 times per week for 45 minutes. This works because your brain doesn't execute just the intentions for the goals. It executes instructions. Vague goals create decision fatigue because it is unclear what to do next. Clear goals remove thinking, and that's the difference between starting strong and staying consistent. 2. Action. Link an action to your goal. Once the goal is clear, the next step is turning it into action. What most people don't realize is that a goal is never a single outcome. A goal is simply a series of actions repeated over time. Running a marathon isn't one event. It's 10-kilometer runs, then 21-kilometer runs, then 42-kilometer runs. And behind all of that are daily habits. That's why for every goal, you should define 2 to 3 concrete habits that are directly linked to it. If your goal is to get fitter, your habits might be training 3 times per week and walking every day. If your goal is to learn a new skill, your habits might be studying for 20 minutes daily and practicing once a week. When actions are clear, progress becomes inevitable, and when something fails, you can identify where it went wrong. 3. Track. What gets measured gets repeated. This is the step most people skip, and it's exactly why most goals fail. If you don't track something, your brain treats it as optional. It fades into the background. It loses importance. Tracking creates feedback. Feedback creates awareness. Awareness creates change. When you track your actions, you start to notice patterns. You see which days you perform better, which habits stick, which ones quietly fall apart. And this is where things get powerful, because progress is rarely linear. Some weeks are great, some weeks are messy. Tracking doesn't judge. It simply shows you the truth. To make tracking actually useful, you need to track 2 things. First, your habits. Second, your goal progress. For goals, a simple calculation changes everything. You take your total goal, divide it by the number of weeks available, and compare it to your current week's progress. That immediately tells you one thing: are you on track or not? If you're behind, you know you must adjust. If you're ahead, you gain confidence. If it sounds a lot of work, this is a conclusion we reached too. Tracking goals effectively usually took a lot of effort. That's why around 6 months ago, we created an app dedicated exclusively for self-improvement. It's called Pattrn. Pattrn was built around one simple idea. Goals only work if you can see when they're drifting off track. Instead of dumping everything into lists and charts, Pattrn turns your goals into milestones. Each goal is broken down into clear checkpoints. You don't just know the final destination, you always know where you should be this week. This makes progress tangible, and it removes the most dangerous problem in goal setting: false confidence. Because most people don't fail suddenly, they fall behind slowly, without noticing. Pattrn fixes that. When a goal goes off track, you don't discover it months later. You get alerted early. That signal gives you control. You can adjust the plan, lower the weekly load, or consciously decide to push. That's how the SAT system works in real life. Set with clarity, link actions to goals, track progress against reality, and let the system, not motivation, do the heavy lifting. 2026 doesn't need more motivation, it needs a system.